there everyone, Tina here. Class today is going to focus on spinal extension, so back bending. Now I don't know if you're with me, but I'm not a fan of back bending. I don't often teach many classes for it, but we're going to switch it up today and work on extending the spine. With that said, you don't need any props today, but if you've got blocks and you like to use them and know how to use them, definitely have them handy. And more importantly, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and especially hit the little ding dong bell because that's going to let you know when all of my next classes are coming out. At the end of class, snap a photo, tag me in it, my Instagram right up there, and I'll post you in my stories. Let's hop to the mat. Okay, so we're going to begin on your back. So come to lay down, bring your feet to touch. Arms can go out wide, or you can place a hand on the heart and a hand on the belly. So this is your Supta Baddha Konasana, supine bound angle. Take a few moments here to let the energy relax. Take these next few moments to feel the breath. Just allow yourself to enter the room you're in and the space on your mat. Be okay with the stillness in your body. Be okay with the silence. Step away from any distractions. Notice and feel your breath. Together, let's take one big inhale through the nose, hold the air at the top to fill your lungs up. Sigh it out. Now let's let those feet plant on the mat. The knees are going to be directly over the ankles. And the arms are just going to rest down. So we're going to do some little bridge poses to bring some awareness to the back of the body and some opening to the front of the body. So we're going to press the feet down, and I want you to start lifting the hips just an inch or two off of the mat. So just a little like hammock pose. So press the feet down. You can even press your arms down. But imagine the belly button is drawing down towards the mat. So your core is nice and strong. With your next exhale, release those hips down to the mat. And then inhale, come up to about halfway. So we're not quite pressing those hips super high to the ceiling. See if you can turn your glute muscles off. So really using the leg strength, the core and back strength to keep you lifted. And exhale those hips down. Last one, inhale, press to what might look like your full bridge pose, but don't work into it too hard yet. We'll be back to this later. Feet are firmly pressing down. Lift the chin towards the ceiling, create space in your throat, and once again, see if you can turn those glutes off. And then exhale those hips down. Take a moment to keep drawing the navel down towards the spine so your back is flush to the mat, and press those feet forward while bending into the knees. So you've got 90-degree bend at the knees. Arms are now going to go out wide. We're going to work the core a little more. So let the knees drop over towards the left side of the mat, but don't let the legs drop all the way down. So we're working the side abdominals, the deep transverse abdominals, and then come back to center. Press that belly button down, and now let the legs hover off the right side of the mat. So keep breathing, and then we'll move with the breath. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, drop knees left. Inhale, center. Squeeze those knees together as they drop towards the right. One more each side. Inhale. Exhale towards the left. Inhale. And exhale towards the right. Inhale, center and pause. Wrap those arms around the legs. Curl up, touch those noses towards the knees. And then scoop up behind the thighs. Take a rock and roll up to sit. From here, come through to your tabletop, hands and knees. And then we'll find our very first downward facing dog. Flip those toes under and let the hips rise up. You'll likely feel the backs of the legs start to stretch, so bend deeply into one knee and let the opposite heel drop down to get that length on the back calf, the Achilles heel, and then swap. You can do a couple more of those, or you can add on some hip sways, letting the knee cross midline. And then the other way. And then settle. So little to no movement on the mat. You can have a bend into the knees to let the tailbone rise. And then let's look forward, lift the heels, and take a step. So you've got those feet towards touch. Knees can bend as you fold. And then come all the way up to standing. Reach those arms up overhead. Inhale. And exhale, hands to heart center. Let's take it right back up for a sun A. Breath in to reach. And then the exhale to fold. Inhale, take a step back, high plank pose. And let's take our first low plank. So glide forward and bend the elbows halfway. Tops of feet to the mat, lift the heart forward, and downward facing dog. Exhale. So lengthen out your down dog a bit, scooch the feet back. Now you're going to take that right foot and the space between your big toe and your second toe, try to hook it right behind that left heel. You could also just kind of step on the back of the heel. We're getting some length even more behind the back leg, space in the calf. We're going to keep this shape with the legs, but now lift that left heel and the shoulders stack over the wrist so you've got a variation of high plank pose. With your next exhale, let those hips go back to the down dog variation. And inhale, come take it forward again. Let's go twice more. Exhale, the hips high. Inhale to come forward. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale, hips back, pause. Let's float that right leg in the air, three-legged dog. And then step forward, right foot just inside your thumb. With your next inhale, reach those arms up overhead, high lunge. Taking this high lunge into a side stretch, basket the hands behind the head, and then you're just going to drop that right shoulder, and then you're just going to drop that right elbow down so that the head is cradled by the left elbow. Take a breath in here, and then exhale, lean over towards the right. Inhale, come back to center, basket the hands behind the head, and then straighten those arms so the palms are touching. Bend into the elbows so that the fingers are facing down and squeeze the elbows into the head. Straighten through your right leg, lift the elbows up and extend back. Rebend into that front knee and extend the arms. Find steeple mudra. So the first fingers are facing upward, the rest are interlaced. Keep lunging, but now hover forward. So try to keep those arms framing the head. Solid lunge in that front knee. Take another breath. And then let's separate the hands and the hands come down. Let's step that right foot back. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, low plank. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Let those heels spin out of your line of vision. Let the head be heavy. And now let's float that left leg in the air. This time we'll stack and open. So the hip stacks, the knee bends, let that foot get really heavy. Then you can spin your gaze underneath left arm. Then straighten that leg, come to your three-legged dog and pause. Bend into the knee so the foot is lifted towards the ceiling, and also send your gaze out in front of you. Take an inhale, press the heel higher, and then an exhale, curl knee towards the nose. So inhale, lift the heel and the gaze, and exhale to crunch. Two more, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, extend, straighten that leg, and then step. Left foot to the top of the mat. We'll come up to your high lunge on this side, and we'll come right into your warrior two. So set the gaze over those front fingertips. Nice solid bend in that front knee. With your next inhale, straighten the leg and the palms meet overhead. Exhale, warrior two, glide it out. Inhale, straighten up. And exhale, two. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Now reach those left fingertips forward, elbow to the thigh. Right arm up and over, side angle pose. Utthita Parsva Konasana. Now let's look down and both hands frame that left foot. We're going to let the back heel lift and then drop that knee down, coming into your low lunge. Right hand will stay grounded, left hand to the thigh. Let's take your twist open towards the left. Going further towards a bind, you can extend left arm back. Picking up back foot, you can find the inner side of the ankle. Now, if this is too much for you, you can just let that leg go. Some of you might like to take this a little further. Tent your right fingertips and look forward. Then you'd work on balance, so that right arm could float, or the right arm could reach around and find the outer part of the ankle. And you're working on pressing the heart forward and even a little higher. And then one at a time, release the two hands down. We'll tuck the right toes to lift that knee, and now left foot steps back, high plank pose. Exhale, take it halfway, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. So now let's take it down to your hands and knees. And then one step further down onto the forearms. So I want you to think number 11 with the arms, or even like train track alignment. So you don't want the elbows splaying out towards the side. Really scoop the elbows in to lock the shoulders in. So from there, let's send that right leg back in the air. We're going to work some dynamic movement here. So with the inhale, lift the heel and also try to lift the gaze. And on an exhale, a simple crunch under, knee towards the nose. Inhale again, lift up. And exhale to crunch. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale that leg long and then drop the toes to the back of the mat. The left foot will meet, so you're in a forearm plank. Try not to let the hips be too high nor sagging too low. Get right in between. And then we're going to let the heels drop towards the right. And you can take this into a side plank on the forearm by lifting left arm higher. Again, press those hips towards the ceiling so they're not sagging. Then let's come back down to the forearms. But this time, tuck the toes under, walk the toes forward, bend into the knees, and you're in your dolphin pose. This time, take that left leg in the air. We're going to do 3 crunches. So inhale, lift the heel and gaze. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, press and lift. And exhale, crunch. Last one, inhale and exhale. Land that foot down, drop the knees. Child's pose might feel really nice with those arms extended behind you. Find a steady breath. Then let's extend those arms forward. Come out to tabletop, downward facing dog, hips high. Spread the fingers wide, set a gaze somewhere behind you to keep the eyes from wandering. And then let's lift that left leg. Spread the toes and see if you can take the big toe and the second toe around the right heel. So you're just bringing some weight to the back of that right foot to get more length in the calf. You might scooch the hands forward and then take it into that high plank variation, keeping the cross of the feet. So exhale, let's let those hips go high and back. And inhale, glide out and forward. Exhale, those hips high. And inhale, high plank. Again, exhale and inhale. Exhale, dog pause. Lift left leg all the way up and then step it forward. So we're going to come up to your high lunge. Sweep those arms up overhead. Once you're settled in with a bend in that front knee and the back heel lifted, we'll basket the hands behind the head. Take an opposite thumb on top. Press the head into the hands so the neck is neutral. And then just let that left elbow fall towards the left so the right elbow is lifted. Take a side lean towards the left. Keep those inner thighs squeezing together so that right hip is pressed forward. As you come back to center, the hands are behind the head. Now let's straighten the arms so the palms are touching. Bend the elbows so now the fingertips are facing down and squeeze those elbows in. Straighten the front leg. Now let's look up, lift those elbows up, and extend your spine back. Now look forward, rebend the knee, arms up overhead, this time steeple mudra. Arms stay by the ears, take a lean out over that front thigh. Diagonal line from fingertips to the heel. Then separate those hands, lower them down, and left foot picks up to step back, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward face. And exhale, downward face. Now let's float that right leg into the air, three-legged dog. And then stack and roll open. So the right knee is lifted. The right heel is getting heavier. You can look underneath right arm. Now come back to a square hip and a straight leg. Keep your down dog. Rebend the knee so the foot is to the ceiling, and also lift your gaze. So you've got a scorpion alignment with the leg. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, just crunch knee towards the nose, so you're still in down dog. Inhale, straighten, lift, and exhale to crunch. Again, inhale, and exhale. Last one, in, and exhale. Now inhale, straighten that leg and take a big step forward. Right foot just inside that right thumb. Let's take it all the way back up to your high lunge. Exhale into your warrior two. Shoulders over the hips, back toes slightly angled in, and the whole surface of the foot grounded down. Inhale, the front leg straightens, the arms up overhead. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, glide out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Right fingers reach forward, side angle, the elbow down and your left arm up and over. Hug your navel towards your spine so you're not back bending here, and keep the pinky edge of that left foot down. Inhale to come back up, but now we're going to windmill down to that right foot pause. So the back heel lifts up, and then you're lowering that knee down, coming into your low lunge. Adding the twist here, the right hand comes to that thigh, and you open to the right. Furthermore, the right arm reaches back, and you could go towards the ankle bind. So you'd be on the inside of the ankle to start. Again, feel free to just let that leg go long and enjoy the twist. If you're taking it one step further, you'd look down, come to tented left fingertips, and see if that left arm could float up, or reach around to find the outer part of the ankle. And you're working on extending the spine, so the heart is lifted, space in the shoulders, the chest, the heart. One hand at a time comes back down. Back toes under, lift that knee and take your step back, high plank. Vinyasa, exhale, low plank. Upward face and downward facing dog. Deep breath. Let's drop those knees down. Set up in your forearm tabletop. So squeeze those elbows towards each other. Try to have parallel arms. Nice spread of the fingers so you have a solid base. From here, we're going to extend that left leg in the air and work some crunches. So inhale, that leg lifts as well as the gaze. And then the exhale, a simple curl, knee towards the nose. Inhale, press and lift. And exhale, curl under. Keep moving with the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, center, pause. Lower those toes down. Really set those forearms in and forearm plank. So the right foot meets left. Let's let the heels drop left, and you can lift that right arm up for your forearm plank. Now that right arm returns down. Let's walk the toes in, the hips rise. So it's dolphin pose. It's basically down dog on your forearms. Now let's take that left leg into the air. Lift the heel and the gaze, breath in. Exhale, take that crunch in. Let's go 2 more. Inhale, lift. And exhale, crunch. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Straighten that leg, foot down, knees down, a well-deserved child's pose. So I usually like arms down by my sides whenever we do any of that shoulder work. You can definitely also keep the arms out forward. Drop the forehead down and take some deep breaths. Arms forward, downward facing dog. Flip those toes under, let the hips rise. Now let's come through to sit on your way down to your backs. So we're gonna work bridge pose up to wheel pose. If you're not into wheel pose, you can do everything I'm about to cue in your bridge pose. So everyone down on their backs. The feet are planted on the mat directly underneath your knees, and the heels are spun just a little bit out at an angle. So we're all going to start with a round of bridge pose. Arms down by your sides, exactly like we did at the very start of class. Press the feet down, and on the inhale, let those hips float up towards the ceiling. Try to turn the glutes off, use leg strength, hip strength, back strength, and if you'd like, interlace the hands underneath you and try to scooch the shoulders underneath, more space in the chest and heart. Exhale, release the arm bind. Let those hips lower back down to the mat. Feet to touch, knees splay, hand on the heart, hand on the belly. Use these hands on your torso to feel the energy in the breath. The power that's been created with this class, the strength. Tuning into the breath as a way to tune out of everything else around you. So we're going to take 2 more back bends. I'm going to cue wheel pose, where you pick the head up off of the mat. Now if you would like to continue doing bridge pose, you do exactly as we just did. So let's replant the feet on the mat, set the heels just a tad wider. This time going towards wheel, you bring the hands just by the shoulders, and as we've done all class, bring those elbows in towards the head. So you're going to press the feet down on the inhale, lift those hips, and then press into the arms and find straighter arms for your wheel pose. If you'd like to take this one step further, you can straighten that left leg all the way up into the air, whether you are in wheel pose or in your bridge pose. Now let's all come down. Those of you in wheel, you can take the backs of the hands together, And spin the wrists around. And then we'll all meet, feet to touch, knees splay. Once again, hand on the heart, hand on the belly. Take a few moments to gather the breath. Come back into a steady state. All right, last one. So let's get the feet ready. So if you did this in bridge pose, you'll do it again in bridge. If you did it in wheel, you'll do it again in wheel. If you kept both feet on the ground, do that. If you lifted, it's going to be that right leg, and I'll give you the cue. So set the feet up, heels a little splayed. Take the hands by the shoulders if you're going into your wheel. Inhale, those hips rise, and then work on straightening your arms. Right leg, if you took it. Come down. Settle into Supta Baddha, feet to touch, knees splay. You can circle out your wrists or just rest them down by your sides, or a 90-degree bend in the arms. Now let's gather those knees into center, wrap your arms around. We're going to reset the spine with some core work. So just as we did at the start of class, have a 90 bend in the knees, the feet extended out in front of you. This time, the hands to the tops of the thighs and push the arms to straighten. Take the belly button, press it down towards the mat so that your back is flush with the mat. This is isometric work. You should feel a little bit of shaking. Take a few breaths here. And then once more, wrap the arms around the legs. This time, curl the nose up to the knees. Take a couple of rocks up and down. And up to sit. So let's straighten the legs out in front of you for a seated forward fold. Bring the toe mounds in, little space at the heels, active flex through the feet. Inhale, sit up nice and tall, and then lean out, exhale. Long spine, gaze down. And lift the chest, inhale, and release, exhale. Let's take our very final vinyasa. Hands to the top of the mat, feet step back plank. Exhale, low plank. Upward face, and downward facing dog. A few moments in your downward face if you'd like to move around. And then let's return to your back. Taking two final poses before rest. So a simple spinal twist, hug the knees in and let them fall towards the left. The right arm can go out like a wing, or once more can have that bend at the elbow. Set the gaze towards the right. And come back to center. Set the spine neutral with a little rock side to side. And then the knees will fall towards the right. Left arm out if you bent it, and gaze left. And then back to center. Closing off with a happy baby. So take a hold of those feet, draw the legs down, give a little rock side to side. And then curl in, nose to knees, and then let it all go. Coming into your Shavasana. Legs can be long, arms wide. Take a deep breath in, sigh it out. Enjoy these next moments of stillness. Take a breath to reawaken. Move your fingers and toes, head side to side. Stretch the arms behind you and the toes forward. And curl up into a little ball. And take a light landing on your right side. Come all the way up to a comfortable seated position. Feel free to keep those eyes closed if you'd like. We'll meet with hands at heart center in Anjali Mudra, a neutral sign of gratitude, honor, and respect. We'll take one final virtual breath together. Fill up the lungs with your inhale and sigh out. Thank you for sharing all of your virtual energy today. The light in me honors the light within each of you. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing class today. Don't forget to subscribe, like, take a photo of yourself with class, tag me in it, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everyone.